Hello again, welcome back to another video on Starseed Academy. My name is Jenny, and today I'm here to talk to you about the full moon and give you some full moon messages. And these messages are for all of the starseeds and the lightworker souls incarnated on Earth at this time. So the full moon is January 28th, and I have it written down. It's going to be at its fullest peak at 2:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's my time zone, on the 28th of January. But as you know, with full moons, you can experience this energy for the full week of the full moon. So at least 2 to 3 days before and after. So it's very potent energy. And what it's bringing up, I have 4 different messages written down here, but they all had a theme. What it's bringing up is signs of expansion. And these are very similar to Ascension Symptoms. So I'm going to talk about the 4 different ones that you might be experiencing, but keep in the back of your mind that all of this is related to you expanding, right? We've been doing so much work to move past the charade of duality that we're seeing in the world and in others around us, doing so much work on our heart chakras, our heart space, and really expanding into that Christ consciousness, that 5D vibration, that unconditional love, which is supported by compassion and forgiveness and seeing others as extensions of ourselves. So this is all expansion. You can expand in all of these ways. And so the signs and the messages for this full moon are all related to what you're doing. So this is proof of all of the work that we're doing. It's proof because it's literally written in the stars here, all of these signs and messages, all revolving around expansion. Okay, so without further ado, let's get right into these full moon messages. The first message is self-doubt. Oof, that ego. When it's feeling threatened or afraid, that fear is because of the expansion work that you're doing. And so it goes into like hyperdrive, trying to deter you from your growth because you're stepping outside of the comfort zone of the ego, which is incredible. So this is a beautiful sign. So your ego might be throwing at you all kinds of self-doubt, telling you like negative self-talk that runs in your mind on repeat, trying to, deter you, like I said, telling you not to try. No, don't try that. Ooh, are you sure you want to do that? And ooh, I don't know, better go the safe route. Like all of that kind of talk. If you're getting that right now, congratulations. That means that you have grown past the comfort zone of your little ego and are in the expansive zone of ascension, of raising your vibration, of moving into those Christ consciousness vibes. And when you move into that, then you take everything with you. Your lifestyle, your relationships, your business, everything. I actually talk to my ego when I feel it flaring up, and that works really well for me. Like I felt a flare up happening a couple of weeks ago, and I remember telling my ego, like, you know what, just get in the back seat. Like I'm visualizing that we're in a car together. Just get in the back seat, sit down. I've got the wheel now. Calm down. Like I've got the directions. I know what I'm doing. You just take it easy. Would you like a cookie? Like just enjoy the ride. And if you talk to your ego like that, a lot of the time it actually really helps. It kind of brings that calm energy over the ego. This is very similar to your relationship with your inner child. Show it that attention that it needs. Have compassion for it. Show it a gentle energy and a loving energy. So the next time you hear your ego piping up in the background with all of its fears and worries, try talking to it with loving language and compassionate language, and let me know how it goes. Message number 2 for this full moon is triggers galore. Triggers, triggers, triggers. You are triggering people. You are triggering all kinds of people. And there's nothing you can do. You're not doing it on purpose. You can't help it. It's just from speaking your truth. Even within the spiritual community, there is all of this competition energy vibes about who is more aligned, who is more correct, accurate, on point, that kind of vibe. And so you are going to see that there are people being triggered by you, like you know it, you can see, you can feel when someone is triggered by you, and yet there isn't anything that you can do about it. Because if you remember from the video, a 2021 message for starseeds and lightworkers, and that was from the Galactic Federation of Light, in that video, they were encouraging us and telling us how important it was to step into our truth, our authenticity, our rawness, our realness, sharing our paths with people, as we're going through it. And not, these picture perfect Instagram moments. It's about the real deal. And that is so important right now. So please try not to be offended. I know it's hard, but when you are triggered by someone, remember what it feels like to be on the other end of that. They probably don't mean to be triggering. They probably know that they're triggering people, just as you are. They're certainly not doing it on purpose. Nobody wants that. Everybody wants to encourage, grow their community, support each other. Nobody's doing it on purpose. So it's not something to fight back against. It's a beautiful opportunity to look within yourself if you are the one that has been triggered. Triggers are like alarm bells going off that there is more within to heal. And they are like little arrows pointing the way for you. So you can find the origination point of a trigger by kind of following the thread down through asking it questions like, why are you so upset? Where is this coming from? When have I felt like this before? What does this really mean? Like really conscious questions to find the origination point to then do the healing. This is shadow work. That's what it is. And in doing the healing, what I mean is deciding, because it's generally a limiting belief, you should be deciding at that point if you want to keep that limiting belief or if it's time to rewrite a new one. So you can choose to let these things go by affirming a new belief over top of it. And every time that old limiting belief comes up, remind yourself that's not true. That's just an old belief I had. It's not true for me anymore. Keep proving to yourself what your beliefs actually are. If you measure everything that you're feeling against the vibration of unconditional love and oneness and acceptance and compassion, like measure your thoughts and your feelings against that, then you will have a good idea of if you're on track or not. And I would also suggest measuring your posts that you're creating and making against this vibration before you post them. Make sure that they are aligned with your true beliefs. And if your true beliefs are Christ consciousness, which is unconditional love, like the highest option you can choose of loving without condition and seeing yourself in all beings, that kind of high vibrational love, measure your posts, your creations, and your feelings and your reactions, if you have a reaction, against that to keep yourself aligned. If you do that, then you'll be able to navigate your way through even the most complicated conversations and concepts. And once you've done that, then let it go. Just let it go. Go for a walk. Do something for you. Get off your phone. Let it go. You are not going to resonate with every single light worker and starseed. You're not supposed to. We're all so different. We've all got a different piece of that puzzle. And not everybody is going to resonate with you for the exact same reason. You can't be everybody's cup of tea, so please don't try to be. That's not honoring your truth. So once you've measured it against the unconditional love meter, and you know where you stand and what's correct for you, what's going to work for you and align with your heart, then it's just time to let it go. The third message for this full moon is contraction. So when you are in a state of expansion, which you are if you're working on self-growth and growing your life and growing your business and raising your vibration, that's all expansion. When you are in that process, it is only natural for the opposing force of contraction to show up. And so it's in moving through this cycle of expansion and contraction, moving through it is where the true growth lies. So it's about surpassing that cycle and kind of breathing through that contraction when your body wants to pull everything in. And it happens on so many levels. So contraction happens physically in your body, energetically, and emotionally, which would be like your thoughts and your feelings. In your body, it can be felt as tightness, as the actual muscles will contract with this energy, like in your shoulders, in your neck, in your back, anywhere that you're susceptible to strain, tightness, and stiffness in the body. If you're a really heart-centered person, then you might actually feel it as a tightness in your chest, which can turn into, if unchecked, it can turn into anxiety, which will turn into like shallow breathing. So it's all connected. So really deep breaths and meditation through this time. The contraction in your emotional state or even your energetic state might feel like you just want to like hermit, close in on yourself, cocoon. You just want to be alone. And that's okay, because you're likely feeling very sensitive to noises, busyness, other people's energy, irritable, all of those things. And to get through that, we often do need to kind of take some time away and really breathe through those emotions. I really like to, with my daily routines as well as the meditation aspect, I really like to stretch my body. So if you do a nice full body stretch, a lot of the time that can set most things right. Then the meditation is going to help with the energy, and then the journaling is going to help with the emotional releasing that needs to be done. So support yourself through this contraction period and be compassionate, but don't let it take over your life or the way that you're being or your routines or anything like that. Don't let it settle in. Move through it and past it through doing these things like the stretching, the meditation, and the journaling, which addresses the contraction in the body, the energy body, and the emotional aspect. So the fourth full moon message is flushing out. So this makes a lot of sense when we're in expansion. We are expanding past a lot of our limiting beliefs, old toxic energy, low vibrational energy, and all of that needs to go somewhere. It needs to be flushed out. And so this happens a lot especially when you're growing at an expansive rate. You'll go through periods of this like flushing out period. Now this can actually mean literal, like you're sick, like you're vomiting or you have diarrhea, like your body is flushing itself. So make sure to drink a ton of water during this time. And other than like literal, it can take on the ascension symptom feeling again. So ascension symptoms are when you are raising your vibration and leveling up each chakra as you go. As you raise the vibration in a chakra, the old energy has to be flushed out. And that is what ascension symptoms essentially are. So this is happening for the collective right now, more so in the upper chakras. We've all done a lot of work on the bottom three chakras. So this is like heart chakra and up. So for me, a heart chakra ascension symptom is heart flutters, like palpitations, racing hearts. It can also feel like pressure in your chest. And so if you're going through little waves of heart palpitations where it can take your breath away, like it goes up into the bottom of your throat and kind of like takes your breath away, just take a moment to breathe through it. Like that's all you can do. And just know that that is a sign that you are actually increasing the energy in your heart chakra. And what it's doing is it's trying to catch up. So a higher vibration vibrates at a faster rate. So if the rate that your heart chakra was at before was a low vibration, like a lower frequency, and it was comfortable there, and then you come in with this higher frequency, like do 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 do, like I see it like a heart monitor where it's like up and down, like you're picking up the frequency in these higher realms. Your heart is kind of just trying to catch up. So it's going to go into these bursts of fast palpitations and flutters, trying to like bring itself up to a new level. And it's going to increase over time. It's not going to happen all at once. So you might go through these ascension symptoms, especially in the heart, which is like one of the biggest chakras that we work with here on earth. Our entire life force flows through the heart chakra. Your life, it flows right through. So Your heart chakra gets a lot of activity because of that, a lot of moving energy. And so it takes, a lot of force to level it up. And we are doing such a good job. Look at us experiencing all of these symptoms of that growth. In leveling up your throat chakra, which is the next one up, you're leveling up your self-expression. You're feeling more confident in speaking your voice, using your voice to speak what you believe in. And the physical ascension symptoms of that are like pressure in the throat. Like, that pang you get in your throat when you have unexpressed emotions, like before you go to cry, you get like an actual like pain in your throat. Why do you think that is, right? That lump in your throat that people talk about, that's energy. That's the throat chakra with a buildup of energy. That buildup of energy in the throat chakra is known as a lump in the throat. For layman's terms of what that sounds like. So you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that in your throat, like an ache. You also might have like a dry throat. Some people experience a lot of dry cough during a throat upgrade as well. So it's kind of individual to you, but I would say mostly it's going to be like a pressure and like a bit of a throbbing sensation, especially at the base of your throat where it connects to your heart chakra. With the third eye chakra upgrade, the ascension symptoms there are dizziness, eye pain, like actual pain in your physical eyes, behind your eyes, they're sore. And then also like I've actually had a period, I actually was driving when this happened, which was not good, but where my vision just blacked out, like I felt like I was going to pass out for a second. But I knew that it was these ascension symptoms because I had been going through all kinds of wild symptoms that day. So it was just a moment of kind of like this blackout of your vision, and then it came back. So that's all third eye. Your ear chakras, which are just above your ears on either side, will cause ringing in the ears. And then your crown chakra is dizziness and headaches. A positive side to this flushing out of old energies is having aha moments. So you might be having a lot of that over the next couple of days, or maybe you're already experiencing it, where you have this newfound clarity that just arrives in an instant, and you can see the limiting beliefs that you've been carrying so much more clearly than before. Like they aren't able to hide from you anymore. Like you can see what's holding you back. A lot of the time, that's lack mentality because it affects every area of our life. Lack mentality is so prevalent. And I have an example for you that I experienced for my own like lack mentality and realizing it. I think I had this, I guess, fear, which is lack, or this belief. I had this limiting belief that I had to spend like all of this time on Instagram in order to create growth and movement and interaction in that community, like for my channel. And I realized that's lack mentality, and it's not true. Because if you have a clean schedule that you stick to, that you know is good for your soul and your heart and your energy, and you have just slotted times where you allow yourself to go onto social media, then you make really good use of that time. Like you come in with a great post, you take a good look at all your favorite accounts, make some really nice comments, share their work as well, because it goes both ways, right? We can't just always be, putting out there and not also respecting everybody else's accounts and their posts and their ideas, and it's give some, take some. So when you just have that allotted time, you are going to get so much more done because you are going to be so ultra focused on what you need to do. Like get your post up, get your DMs answered, check your notifications so you're not on there all day. And when you do that, it's amazing how the growth and the interaction and the channel just surges. And I've really found that when I'm more intentional with my energy, it's more productive and abundant than when I'm on there all day anyway, right? So that was lack mentality. That was a fear. So lack mentality can hide in so many different ways, and that's just one example. Another aspect of flushing out the old energy, so still within this fourth message, is that you will have like a purging happening, which makes sense. Flushing out is very similar to purging, but this is an energetic purge where you're going to see a lot of the things that are not serving you are going to come up to be purged. And that is what the full moon is so powerful at doing. So this is the ultimate time for that. So really take advantage of this energy of the purge. So ways that this can happen, or you might be seeing it already in your life, is a purging of the programming of the third dimension and a purging of that density. So heavier programs, like one that I've been purging a lot lately, other than the lack for sure, lack mentality, huge purges happening there. And then for me, another one is duality. And so when you're purging something, you're going to see it everywhere, and it's going to come up a bunch all within a short span of time, because it's giving you an opportunity to clear it for good. So for instance, you might have the triggers that we talked about, or you might have like a full-on fight with a loved one, like, your partner or a friend. Or you might have dreams of confrontations. But that duality energy, or whatever program you're working on purging, like if it was lack, then you would have all of these lack symbolisms coming up. But if it's this duality, then it comes in the form of confrontation, like side versus side. And so that is going to come up to be purged to give you opportunities to address it in a higher vibrational way. So teaching you how to either walk away when you need to walk away, to respond with patience and compassion to the person who's riled up, or if it's you who's riled up, to put yourself in that person's shoes and understand that, the trigger was not intentional and it's actually your own work that needs doing. So there's a lot of ways that you can healthily address things that are coming up at this time, but the basic flushing out of it and the purging of it is so potent right now. So really take advantage of that energy, because all it's going to do is just skyrocket you into even more expansion. And so that is so amazing. I feel like my word of 2021 is expansion. Like, it's what I want to focus on in every area of my life. Expansion, expansion, expansion. And that just means so much growth, so much like new frequencies, so many new frequencies coming in, new ideas, doors of opportunity, new ways of communication, new ways of finding to love someone, like just expansion in the abundance, relationships, spirituality, and health in your life. So that's a huge theme this year. And because it's a huge theme this year, on this first full moon of 2021, it's all about these signs of expansion. And it's just going to keep getting more and more intense, because we are growing at this beautifully fast, incredible rate. So which of these messages is popping up for you right now? Is it the self-doubt and the ego? Is it the triggers within your community? Whether it's yourself being triggered or someone else and nobody meaning to, but it's happening. Or is it the contraction experience? Or is it this flushing out? Or are you experiencing all four because you are just so on your path right now? Please let me know in the comment section down below which of these messages stood out for you that you might already be experiencing. And if you're not already, now if they start to come up in the next few days, you'll know why. So thank you so much again for joining me. I want to remind you how much I appreciate your likes. Just clicking like if you actually like something is a really generous thing to do, because it's very encouraging. I can see it on my end where I can't always read all your thoughts. And then if you wanted to share this video, please feel free. Make sure to subscribe if you are not already subscribed, because I do videos every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. And so I'll be here for you 3 times a week. If you want to connect with me on a more personal basis, then I'm going to leave my link in the description box below so that you can find me easily. And you can find me on Instagram, and you can also find me through like the services that I offer if you wanted to sign up and work with me one-on-one. So that's always a beautiful way to help yourself through that expansion, to get the support to help yourself through that expansion experience. And I'd be more than happy to support you through that. enjoy the beautiful full moon. Make sure to take time for yourself to go into meditation, to go into your journal, and to really powerfully move through these energies by using your routines to stabilize the energies, and using your full moon rituals to amplify the energies. So I'll see you all over on Instagram, and if not, then I'll see you here for my next video. Thank you so much, and always remember, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. Have a great day. Bye.